If you need a way to reduce noise during the daytime or while sleeping, the lightweight QuietOn earbuds are a comfortable, effective and very easy to use option. All you do is pop them in your ears and their active noise cancellation automatically turns on around 20 seconds later and turns down the volume of the world around you. Hi, I'm Ethan Green from NoSleeplessNights.com, and in this video I'll be reviewing the QuietOn noise cancelling earbuds, specifically the 3.1 model version, which is the latest one. I've been using mine off and on for the last 4 months, and I've also tested them alongside some earplugs and other headphones. It's important to understand that they can't play music or any other audio, but the reduced tech in the earbuds means they're much smaller than any noise cancelling headphones I've seen. Just to be completely transparent from the outset, QuietOn did give me these as a demo product to test and review, and if you decide to buy one through the link that I'll put in the description below, I might make a commission. But as you'll see in this video, giving me a demo product doesn't guarantee a glowing and only positive review, and I will be covering both the downsides and the good sides as I see it. Let's start at the beginning then with what's in the box, which itself looks quite smart. Inside is the magnetic snap case, which contains the earbuds and also charges them. The case looks good, with a robust plastic exterior, brushed stainless steel on the inside and gold pins to connect to the earbuds. The case is similar in size to modern noise cancelling headphones, and it should fit neatly in a pocket. There are 4 different tip sizes to choose from, which is great as it means it's more likely you'll be able to create a tight seal in your ear, and you do need to get the seal right for both the passive and active noise reduction to work properly. The tips are made from memory foam, so you can squish them before inserting them in your ear to get a good fit. I found they expand faster than foam earplugs though, so you need to be quite quick inserting them. Once they're in, they're very comfortable to wear and you hardly notice them in your ear. The QuietOn also come with a quick start guide and longer instructions, but considering the lack of features, I don't think 2 sets of instructions was necessary. Finally, there's a USB-C to USB Type-A cable to charge the case. All in all, the QuietOn are very aesthetically appealing. They're designed in Finland and made in Poland, and the streamlined Scandi design style shows. For me, one of the best points about the QuietOn is the tiny size. They really are very small, which is great if you're a side sleeper or if you're going to be wearing them a lot during the daytime and you don't want anything bulky in your ears. Here you can see them compared to the Apple AirPods Pro 2 and the Sony WF-1000XM4. To be fair, those are larger because they also play audio, but it still gives you an idea of just how small the QuietOn are. The only wireless earbuds I've seen that are equally small are the Cocoon Nightbuds, but they do have that wiggly cable around the back of your head. As well as being small, I also like the curved shape of the earbuds. It means you can tuck them away inside your ear, and the flatter profile makes them less noticeable when you lie on your side. So the combination of the small size, curved shape and soft tips makes them comfortable to wear in bed in all sleep positions in my experience. In fact, I'd probably say they're the most comfortable noise cancelling earbuds I've used when lying on my side. Okay, let's talk about the battery life of the QuietOn. This is an area where they really excel. First of all, to charge them, you plug the cable into the back of the case and the other end into a USB outlet, such as a phone charger, laptop or USB adapter plug. I really like how there are 3 sets of small LEDs to tell you how much charge is left. The 3 LEDs in the back of the case give you an idea of how much charge is left in the case, and the 2 sets of 3 LEDs on the front tell you how much charge is in each earbud. So you know that as long as at least one light is on, you have enough charge for a whole night. When fully charged, the earbuds will last for a whopping 28 hours. More than 4 times longer than the AirPods Pro 2, and the case holds enough for 3 more charges up to 84 hours. It takes around 2 hours to charge the earbuds and 3 hours to charge the case, so if you're the kind of person who's always forgetting to charge your devices, the QuietOn's long battery life might appeal. Okay, let's talk about how well they block out different noises in the house. I've been testing them quite extensively. Well, I say extensively, basically I put them in and listen to things and decide how well they block out the sound. But I've also been comparing them with different kinds of earplugs and with some other noise cancelling headphones. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a gap in the market at the moment, well, a big gap in the market, with noise cancelling headphones designed specifically for sleep. So I've had to compare them to some headphones which actually play music, so it's not really a like-for-like comparison, but it is an interesting one. The headphones I used were the Apple AirPods Pro 2 and the Sony WF-1000XM4. The earplugs were the Max Ultra Soft Foam earplugs, Max Pillow Soft Silicone earplugs and Keys Wax earplugs, so there were 6 participants in my little noise blocking competition. To start with, I had loud snoring playing through a speaker on the pillow next to me, and I gave the QuietOn a 6 out of 10 as they were good at dampening deeper snoring sounds. The foam earplugs and AirPods Pro 2 were the winners in this round though, with an 8 out of 10. For TV background noise, the QuietOn did well with a 7 out of 10, especially against music. However, they were slightly outperformed by the AirPods and foam earplugs again though, both of which blocked out people talking better. With music playing in an adjacent room, the QuietOn impressed me, and I gave them 8 out of 10. They reduced a lot of the bass, and only the AirPods blocked out more. They also did well with traffic noise coming from outside. They shared second spot with the foam earplugs, scoring 8 out of 10 again. In the kitchen, with the noise from the loud vent fan 3 metres away, the QuietOn came second with a solid 7 out of 10. And lastly, for the washing machine on a spin cycle, they managed a 6 out of 10, but this was a very challenging noise for all the earbuds and earplugs. Now, please keep in mind that this was a very subjective test done by just one person. But what was clear to me is that the QuietOn were effective at reducing how much lower frequency noise I heard. But they faced stiff competition with higher frequencies and certain noise like snoring and people talking. On the plus side, the fact that more higher frequency sound comes through means that they shouldn't prevent you from hearing a standard loud alarm clock in the morning if you use them for sleep. As well as doing my inside tests, I also tested the QuietOn while out and about. I found they were good for reducing traffic noise and other city sounds while walking around, but less so for sudden sharp noise, which is to be expected. The way they work is with an internal microphone that picks up the noise around you and then generates a phase-shifted sound to cancel it, so it works much better on constant noise. For that reason, they successfully reduce a lot of noise when I use them on trains, but I can still hear announcements, the sound of a door opening, and people talking. Interestingly, the AirPods cut out a lot of the talking noise on the train, while the Sonys reduce some noise, but not as much as the QuietOn or AirPods. One of the biggest issues I've had... Oh, that's really weird. I just have to say that this is the first time I've actually tried talking whilst filming in the filming voice that I have whilst I'm wearing them. And obviously they're activated because I'm wearing them and they're always activated. And my voice sounds very strange. I have actually spoken to other people, but for some reason when I talk to the camera, my voice is always slightly different and it's quite unusual hearing them with the noise cancellation going on. So anyway, one of the biggest issues that I've had with the QuietOn is getting the hearing mode to work, because you're supposed to just put the case up to your ear, up to the earbud, and it's supposed to click on to hearing mode, but it's really difficult to line them up. And as I'm talking, I'm trying to do it, and there we go. Let's just try again, the left ear. No, there it is. Yeah, see, sometimes it takes a couple of seconds, sometimes it can take up to 10 seconds, and 10 seconds that I don't want to be doing this, basically. So, a bit of a frustration, that one. Another potential issue is the relatively high price. The QuietOn currently sell for £249 in the UK and $289 in the US, for example. They come with a 30-day trial period and 1-year warranty, so you do have some time to test them out. If you do decide to return them, you will have to pay the shipping fee though. I emailed them to ask about that if you're further away in the US, for example, and they replied that it typically costs between $35 and $50. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Okay, before I give you my final verdict, let's have a think about the pros and the cons. I've already mentioned these in the video, but if you skip to this section, then these are the pros and cons as I see it. Starting with the pros, they're small, lightweight and comfortable to wear. They reduce lower frequency noise well, they have excellent battery life, they're very easy to use, there's no buttons, app, Bluetooth connectivity or even EMF radiation if you're concerned by that. And you can still hear alarms clearly in the home. As for the cons, you can't play any audio through them, they're quite expensive, switching to the hearing mode is a bit fiddly, and you'll still hear some noise, such as people talking, high-pitched snoring or sudden sounds. Okay, it's time now for my final verdict and also my thoughts on who I think the QuietOn will suit best and who they perhaps won't be so suitable for. Personally, I was really impressed by how small the QuietOn are. It's rare to find wireless earbuds that are this comfortable to use in bed, even when you lie on your side. So if you're willing to forego audio playback for the sake of comfort and a less intrusive fit, they're certainly worth considering. In my noise tests, they scored quite similarly to the foam earplugs, which does raise a question. Why would you choose the QuietOn if foam earplugs are so effective? And I think the answer lies in personal preference. If you're using earplugs and they work well, or noise-cancelling headphones, then stick with those. However, I know some people don't like the feel of earplugs or larger earbuds, and they wouldn't wear earplugs outdoors either. I do think it's important to have reasonable expectations regarding complete silence in noisy environments. Unfortunately, no product can guarantee that. But if your goal is to significantly reduce background noise without adding music, and you value long battery life and comfort, the QuietOn might suit you. Just keep in mind that they are on the pricier side, so they won't suit those in a tighter budget. And if you would like the option to play audio as well as having active noise cancellation, these clearly won't be right for you. And that about wraps it up for the review. I hope that you found it useful. If you did and you'd like to buy a pair, then I'll leave a link in the description below. And please also subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep in touch and see future videos. And if you'd like to find out about more headphones that I've covered in the past and earplugs as well, take a look at these videos and maybe there'll be something else for you to consider. Thanks for watching. This is Ethan from No Sleepless Nights.